But I was sitting on the couch at this time. I was taking care of my dad, who was old and needed some help. And so I was some Saturday afternoon, I was playing the guitar, which is kind of when I got into songwriting and put the sax away. I started playing this figure, and he walked by, and in his entire life, or my entire life, he had never said anything to me about any music I had ever done. He liked it, he didn't disapprove, he was supportive, but he'd never had a comment. And then he's just walking by in his bathrobe, heading to the kitchen. I'm sitting in the living room on the couch, going over this thing, and he looks at me and he says, "That sounds very American." And I said, "Whoa, okay." So like, yeah, I'm gonna write an American song. So anyway, 22 years later, here's the song. It's called "State of Disrepair." Let me help myself to see a little better. Across the ocean, across the land, there was a little girl drawing pictures in the sand. Above the highway, above the clouds, there were never any worries, there were never any doubts. But somewhere along the way, she'd hardly begun. The day grew dark, the moon blocked the sun. Her white balloons were blown away, sprung from a fountain and disappeared in the spray. Ooh, 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 Across the ocean, across the sea, there was a little boy who looked a lot like me. He had a hound's tooth and a box of lucky stars. He was always carrying something, he was always on his guard. Walking home one day, suddenly he saw a lost balloon drifting toward the distant shore. High up overhead, floating off with no one near. When he finally turned away, his eyes were filled with tears. Oh, when it's good, it's good. But when it's lost, it's somewhere, 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 till it's gone. It's 10 years later, and she's lost in the sand. Spends her whole life searching for the poem behind every plan. She can hear him calling from the ferry to the docks. There's a crowd there forming around a suitcase with broken locks. So she boards the ferry, and the little boy is there. No one pays him any mind. There's people jammed in everywhere. He's not much older, and he's tired of saying why. He stands at the railing where the sea bends back and meets the sky. He reaches into his bag, pulls out a torn balloon, drops it overboard and says, I hope you find your way home soon. Oh, she looks into his eyes then, and she grabs his hand. I need to know, she says, exactly where you stand. Oh, when it's good, it's good. When it's lost, it's somewhere, somewhere, somewhere before it's gone. You might have heard it said, it's dog eat dog. There's rich and poor, there's princes and there's fairy frogs. When the sun is shining, people smiling all around. When the dark moon's rising, they're staring holes into the ground. There's a chaos forming. You can lie or you can love. You can crush a beating heart or make a leap and rise above. But this I'll tell you, more than anything I'll say, if you find a love that works, don't ever let it drift away. Ooh, 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 oh, oh. So one day you might look up, and this is what you'll see. A swirling spray of sand, an answer blowing in the breeze. So you go out walking from sea to shining sea, down that ribbon of highway, over mountains and on through the trees. From springtime hopes to autumn dreams, you'll watch the seasons change until suddenly you'll see a lost balloon shrinking in the distant air, crazy with feelings and in a state of disrepair. Oh yes, when it's good, it's good. When it's lost, it's somewhere, somewhere, somewhere before it's gone. Across the ocean now, across the land, everyone is talking in a language no one understands. Blown up in white balloons, then released into the air, crazy with feelings, but in a state of disrepair. Crazy with feelings, in a state of disrepair.